freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it on to our children in the bloodstream. The only way they can inherit the freedom we have known is if we fight for it, protect it, defend it, and then hand it to them with the well-taught lessons of how they in their lifetime must do the same. And if you and I don't do this, then you and I may well spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it once was like in America when men were free.
Hey everybody, welcome to Gun Freedom Radio, coming to you from the 2026 SHOT Show in
fabulous Las Vegas.
I am Cheryl Todd. This is the other guy.
Oh, that guy, Dan.
Yeah. Who's forgetting? You know, you come to Vegas, it's so busy, it's so wild, and you sometimes can forget your own name. Yeah, that too. Anyway, we love this event because we get to meet with brand new friends, old friends, and talk to people who are doing incredible work all across the nation, whether it's informational, educational, advocacy, and I'm excited to introduce to you our new friend, Hunter Elliott. Welcome to Gun Freedom Radio.
Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I'm honored to be here. I've heard good things.
Thank you. I appreciate that. My mom called then. She said we're doing okay.
It counts, though.
It's true.
It counts.
So Hunter Elliott is a former U.S. Marine avid shooter.
Hoorah.
Yes, thank you for your service. Reloader and caster. He founded RangeHot.com after his firearms writing and video style was repeatedly suppressed by editors. RangeHot covers ballistic testing, firearms reviews, factory tours, and industry interviews with a focus on training over gear and quality over quantity. Amazing. And can you imagine? It's the United States. We're supposed to be able to say whatever we want to say as long as we're not harming anybody. And yet, this is your experience.
Well, so I'm from North Carolina, grew up and outside of Raleigh, a little town called Swift Creek, and we have certain colloquialisms that we use, like reckon and fixing to and waiting on, and that's how we talk.
Yes.
And so when I was writing, I had a couple of what I'm going to call overeducated editors, not from the South, and so I would submit an article, and truthfully, y'all, when I'm writing an article, I try not to read like a technical manual. Yeah. I'm envisioning I'm sitting across the table from a friend of mine. Maybe we're having a bourbon, and we're just talking.
Yeah, it's like stream of consciousness.
Exactly.
It's like we're going to talk right here.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. And so, I would put in a waiting on or a fixing to or a reckon, and they would scrub that. And the first time it happened,
your whole personality coming through.
When I read it, I'm like, it was very sterilized. And so I reached out to him, and we had words. And so I bumped into him at SHOT Show because I was kind of feeling my way around still, and I mentioned it to him. I'm like, hey, look here, man. I am who I am, and I'm trying to bring a flair of personality, a modicum of personality to these articles.
Yes.
Because at that point, it was just print, and you don't want it to read like I said, like a technical manual. Right. So he said, well, okay, Hunter, I kind of get what you're doing. So then after that, we would debate on what words were and were not into Webster's dictionary.
Oh, wow.
And so
fixin' to is for sure in there.
I guarantee it is.
It's not.
It damn sure ought to be.
Exactly.
Exactly. So, the third or fourth time I had to exchange emails where I'm screenshotting a Webster's dictionary where reckon's in there, I had a buddy of mine, he did IT, and he was witnessing this as I was having to come apart. And he goes, look, Hunter, the internet, this was a number of years ago. He's like, why don't you just build a website right there? And then you can control how you write it. You can do whatever you want to do. I was like, what I got to lose?
Exactly.
And so because I had been in the industry, I started this in 98 or 99. I had made enough contacts to where all of the articles that I had written, I'd kept on PDF. So I had immediate content.
Yes.
And I'm a commercial photographer by trade, and so I understand how copyright law works. So I had a publication try to sue me because I republished my article. And then I explained to him what one-time use rights means. And that was the end of the problems with that. So I brought in a lot of my own content that was older, but still relatively relevant. And then I reached out to friends I had made over the years, and especially Colt Manufacturing really stepped up and were able to funnel me stuff that I probably didn't deserve to review. Got me a Colt factory tour back when you couldn't do it.
Wow.
And so Colt, Ruger, they really, really began to look out for me when I was a nobody. If so, I try to look out for them now because they were there for me when I was, in a bad way. And Barnes Precision Machine, another AR manufacturer, were helping me when I was getting my feet wet.
Yeah. No, I love that. And we always say with our mouths that we want diversity and innovation, right? And originality. But then when it's presented in front of us, sometimes we're like, but not quite like that.
Right.
Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Let's make it more like what we normally do and say somehow that we're being innovative.
It rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. And my editor, he was a good writer. I mean, he was a really good technical writer. But I'm going to be honest with you, it was boring as all get out. I would get into his article and I'm like, I feel like I'm reading the instruction manual.
Yeah. And you're saying I can open you to other audiences that aren't going to read what you wrote beautifully, right? And just give me this opportunity. And I guess it just didn't fit.
It didn't work.
And
which is fine.
You came out
to the good.
To the good.
Good Lord was looking out for me.
I love that.
It all come together, and
I love that.
It went. RangeHot is actually pretty successful.
That's fantastic.
And then a few years after I began just writing, my buddy Rich at Colt, he came to me and said, "Hey Hunter, your articles are great." He said, "But if you want to stay relevant, you need to get into video." And at that point, I had been shooting a lot of video. I had shot some music videos and stuff like that, but I'd never edited.
Oh.
So I took a local class, and then I went to the University of YouTube.
Yeah, University of YouTube.
Yes,
I love that.
And I started kind of learning Adobe Premiere and how to shoot. And then I had some friends that were videographers, and I kind of shadowed them and began to learn. And of course, I'm no Martin Scorsese, but I can cobble together a relatively coherent video that people seem to like, at least to a point. So,
and I don't want to see a video of somebody that's like a professor of everything exact.
Right.
I want me. I want to relate to it.
You want that, as Candy, my girlfriend, says, a little rough around the edges.
Right.
But good.
Relatable.
But relatable is the word. One thing that I'm most proud of when I do gun reviews, the video aspect of it, it's not just me. I bring in 6-8 other people. My mother, she's 82 years old. She's 5'1", maybe about 100 pounds, and she's in there shooting.
Love it.
Candy, my friend Chad. I bring in a lot of my friends that are, some of them are good shooters, some of them are new shooters, some of them are professional shooters, and we have men, women of all ages and experience levels, and so that way, when somebody's watching it, it's not just the Delta operator rolling around, with the tactical.
Right.
It's somebody that they can relate to.
Yeah.
And my mama, she helped me with a Colt Python review. And I got a couple, and she wound up buying that revolver, and that's her carry gun.
Wait, your mom,
Yes, sir.
pounds,
Yes, I love it.
82 years old.
Awesome.
And she's tough as all get out, brother.
That's awesome.
She helped me, she's not afraid of nothing, bless her heart. And so I want to include not just me, not just my thoughts, but other people shooting, experiencing. And then that way, when they're done, even if they don't want to be on camera, they will tell me what they feel. And then I kind of temper my wrap up based off of what not only I experienced, but what they experienced.
I love that.
Well, before we go any
Check
further,
that
I
out.
have to clarify. Would you explain to my wife what fixing to means? Because she'll say do something around the house.
I'm fixing
I say
to.
I'm fixing to. She thinks it's immediate.
So fixing to is very vague, and that's on purpose. And fixing to means either
spectrum.
it can happen now,
Okay.
or any point between now and another undetermined time.
See? That's right. And she doesn't get it.
It's okay.
Understood.
To do that.
I am. I still am.
Okay. That's what I'm going to tell you when dinner's ready. I'm fixing to.
I'm fixing dinner. It might be for 3 days from now, y'all, but I'm fixing dinner.
I love it.
I'm so glad. Now I feel better.
Fantastic. We can all come together on that point.
I love it.
One of the things we wanted to talk about with you is factory tours.
Yes, ma'am.
That helps us get a better sense of how these guns
Yes, ma'am.
are created.
I think a lot of people, when they go to purchase a firearm, and they see it, and they're, oh, that's $700, $800, $1,200, and today, and it's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
But when you showcase what it takes to bring that gun to fruition, from a piece of raw bar stock, and you got a $400,000 CNC machine, and you got a dozen of them, and you got Swiss lathes, and what it really takes to make that, and the hands that, and we're talking about people that are skilled labor. The amount of hands it takes to produce that firearm, it's a lot. And so I do a lot of video firearm tours, and we will show the process as much as time allots, and it gives people a lot better idea of what it takes to bring this to the market.
Awesome.
They're not just waving a magic wand and poof,
Yes.
I've miracled this gun here.
Yes.
It requires a tremendous amount of resources, technical expertise, raw material. It's a lot. For example, I mentioned Barnes Precision Machine. They're an AR manufacturer in Raleigh. When he's humping, his light bill is $15,000 a month.
Wow. We don't even think about that aspect.
Right.
Right?
But he's got CNC machines and mills and all that running a couple shifts.
Yeah.
And I've seen it open his light bill, and it was $15,000.
Wow.
And the first gun cost him $1.5 million to build.
'Cause you
the
gotta-
second one is, in less and less
Yes,
and
sir.
less.
And there's so much R&D, and they just, So while I will, I will submit to, yes, guns can be expensive. There is a reason for it. And what is your life worth? Any firearm you buy, even if this is going to be my range toy, any firearm that you buy could potentially, God forbid, be your save your bacon. And so I tell people, buy cheap paper towels, buy nice guns.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. What is your life worth, really? And that is your tool of self-defense.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometimes the only thing standing between you and danger. The danger gets to pick the time, the place, and everything else. And if you know you've got a good piece of equipment, then that takes care of a lot of things all by itself.
Something that I like to explain to people is, regardless of what you think, you are your own first responder. My father had a saying, it only takes a few seconds to call 911, but it may take the rest of your life for the police to get there.
Right.
Now, and that's I'm not disparaging law enforcement.
Not at all, but that is so perfect way to say it. The rest of your life.
Right.
Right? Because
ma'am.
you're in a dangerous situation and your life might come to an abrupt end.
Exactly.
The rest of your life
And that
for
just
help to come.
And that just happened in Raleigh. A
I may
lady.
steal that.
Help yourself. And that just happened a few weeks ago in Raleigh. There was a lady, she was at home by herself, guy broke into her house, saw her, she retreated, barricaded herself, got on the phone, was talking to 911 on the phone, and had been on the phone with 911 a little while. He broke into her where she had barricaded herself and beat her to death while she was on the phone. And she was a teacher. She was a pillar of the community, a wonderful human being. And this who had not been out of prison long took that life away, and regardless of what you think, I feel like when someone just makes that decision, I'm coming into your home, I'm going to try to impose my will upon you, then they have, in some shape or form, decided I'm going to accept whatever repercussions they are based off of my actions. And so if they wind up becoming deleted, then they realized, hey, this is a real potential. And so, God forbid you'd ever want to hurt somebody. But you got to weigh this pillar of the community, teacher, that was actually making a difference in the community versus the scum of the earth.
Yes.
And there's some people that would fight for him. And it's sick.
It is.
It's just, no, when they're in your house, it's free game. Sorry.
I hate that, but I agree. Last thing I ever want to do is hurt somebody.
Because you don't know if they're there to just get a hamburger or if they're there to kill you.
You don't know.
And you cannot wait to see.
Exactly.
You can't. Because if you do, you'll die.
Exactly.
And they chose that.
Yes,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, I pray I never have to use
You and me both.
my tool of self-defense.
That's why
but
on our front
we
door,
train for it.
we have a welcome mat. It doesn't say welcome on it.
Just go away.
No, it doesn't say anything.
Oh.
So, because they can say, well, he came in because you had a welcome sign.
Right,
You know?
right.
And
That's
lawyers
good.
will use that.
You know
It's
what?
crazy.
A slick lawyer, you know, is.
You got a welcome sign.
I'm telling you, a slick lawyer can and you're in front of 12 people who didn't have sense enough to get out of jury duty. And a slick lawyer, and a lot of people, you know, are not gun people, and they don't understand, you know. And my concealed carry instructor from years ago was really good at what, and he said, you have to, you know, they're going to try to paint you as some sort of, you know, foaming at the mouth, you know, I can't wait to kill somebody, and then all they got to do is just create a little doubt, and you can be in a world of hurt.
Right.
So true. Our image, how we speak, how we project ourselves, all of that matters so much. We are almost out of time, but I did want to touch on the idea of the importance of training, which is what we're talking about with the self-defense angle, right? Versus, you know, having the latest jazzy looking something or other, right?
Exactly.
Buy the thing because everybody else.
Cool.
It looks cool. Yeah, tactical.
Tactical, right?
Talk to us a little bit about that piece of it.
I'll be brief.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there are no standards for firearms instructors. Anybody can be one. All they got to do is just say, hey, this is what I am. So when you are selecting a firearms instructor, you have to be very diligent, because you're going to spend your money, your time, your effort, your energy, your ammo to take that class. You need to make for sure that you're getting back in knowledge what you're giving up. And if you have any doubt, there's a lot of amazing facilities, gun sight, you know, range ready. These are all, I'm a huge gun sight fan. So these are always givens. But if that's out of reach for someone, do your due diligence. Make sure your instructor is on point. Now, with that said, you got an AR class coming up. I don't have an AR. Don't go buy a damn $4,000 AR and a you know, $5,000 optic thinking, oh, okay, I bought this nice gear, I'm gonna be on point. That's probably not gonna be the case. Buy a $1,000 AR or an $800 AR, you know, and buy a good optic, a $500-600 optic if you need to, and spend the rest of that money on ammunition and training.
I like that.
Now, if you eat up with money, which now I ain't, but if you eat up with money, help yourself.
Yeah.
I love nice guns. I love nice guns, but if you're someone that, you know, you're budget minded, I would put training over a super expensive gun, when if you could just, you know, buy something that's affordable, still good quality, and spend that money on training, I think in the end you'll be far better off.
Smart. I like that. That's sound advice. All right, we do have to get going. I'm so sorry. I feel like we could keep talking for hours, but tell folks if there's any last minute thing you want to leave our audience with before you let them know how they can follow all the work you're doing.
I tell everybody, take care of yourself and each other. That's how I end my videos, and I look forward to seeing you at the range. But that's not apropos here. But
And how can they follow you?
So I run RangeHot.com, which is a website, and then I run a YouTube channel of the same name, RangeHot.com. The written articles tend to be a little more technical, and then the videos tend to be a little more of an overview, and I will embed those videos within the written article on RangeHot. So you can find me there. I do have a Facebook page, but you know, Facebook is a little rough on gun owners, and so it doesn't do like you would imagine. But I've got a pretty decent footprint. I'm satisfied. So there you go.
Awesome. I love it. Well, thank you so much. For
Absolutely.
all
I
that you're
really
doing.
appreciate it. I'm so honored to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
And you tell Miss Candy, thank you for connecting us.
I absolutely
appreciate
will.
that.
She's a better than I deserve. She's a wonderful woman.
I love that. All right, folks, you stick around because we've got lots more wonderful interviews coming up from 2026 SHOT Show.